Air pollution. You know, it's a term we hear all the time. And honestly, the problem can feel so huge, so overwhelming. But what if I told you it's not just some abstract thing out there, but it's right here, in the very air you're breathing, right now? Today we're going to cut through all that haze and figure out what's really going on. So let's dive in.
You've seen this before, right? A smokestack puffing away against the sky. It's so familiar, we probably don't even give it a second thought. But that plume of smoke, well, it's way more than just part of the scenery. It's a huge clue to a much bigger, much more complicated story. So what's actually in that smoke? And maybe more importantly, what are the things we can't see?
So yeah, we see it. On some days you can even smell it in the air. But seeing something and truly understanding it are two totally different things. How does that smoke actually translate into a real danger for us, for our families, for the entire planet? Let's really dig into that.
All right, to really tackle this, we've got to be on the same page. So let's start with the basics, a really clear, simple definition. What exactly is air pollution?
Okay, think of our atmosphere like a perfectly balanced recipe. It's this very specific mix of gases that keeps everything on Earth alive and kicking. Air pollution is what happens when we start throwing junk into that recipe, when harmful things like weird gases, dust, and smoke get in there and completely mess up that delicate balance. And that threatens pretty much every living thing.
Now, this is a really important point. Our brains are wired to focus on what we can see, right? The thick, dark smoke, the smog. But believe it or not, some of the most dangerous pollutants are completely invisible. Take carbon monoxide, for example. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but it's incredibly dangerous because it literally stops your blood from carrying oxygen. It just goes to show you, the cleanest looking air isn't always the safest. The unseen threat is often the one you really have to worry about.
So, we've defined the problem. The next logical question has to be, where is all this stuff coming from? Let's pinpoint the main culprits.
And you'll see, the sources are just woven into the fabric of our modern lives. It's the power plants that keep our lights on, it's the factories making all the stuff we use, the cars we drive, it's even the products we use inside our own homes. The causes are, well, they're all around us.
The number one biggest contributor, by a long shot, is the burning of fossil fuels. It's the engine that powers our cars, our planes, our entire industrial world. Every single time you drive your car, take a flight, or use electricity from a coal plant, pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides get pumped straight into our atmosphere. And get this isn't just an outdoor problem. The air inside our homes can actually be just as polluted, sometimes even more so. You know that new paint smell or that super strong scent from some cleaning products? Well, a lot of the time, those are toxic chemicals, volatile organic compounds, being released right into the air we breathe the most. Okay, so we know what it is and where it comes from, but what does it actually do to us? To really get why this is so urgent, we have to look at the consequences for our planet and for our own health.
Several million. That's the number of premature deaths caused by air pollution, every single year. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some environmental statistic. It is a massive global health crisis. It's directly linked to things like cancer, pneumonia, and asthma. And kids are the ones who are most vulnerable.
And the effects, they trigger this devastating chain reaction. So beyond the immediate health problems, these pollutants trap heat, which causes global warming. They create acid rain, which poisons our crops and forests. They even chew away at the ozone layer, you know, our planet's natural sunblock. It is all connected in this really destructive web.
Let's just break one of those down, like acid rain. It sounds super complex, but the process is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, factories and cars release these specific gases. Step 2, those gases float up and mix with the water in the clouds. And Step 3, that mixture falls back down to Earth as rain. But now, it's acidic. It's a perfect and honestly tragic example of cause and effect.
Now, I know, after hearing all of that, it is so easy to feel completely overwhelmed. But listen, the story doesn't end there. There is hope, and there are very clear, very real solutions that we can all be a part of. So let's look at how we can start clearing the air together. You know, it can start with something we've all known since we were kids. Reduce, reuse, recycle. And I know it sounds basic, but the impact is real and direct. When we consume less and waste less, it means we need less energy for manufacturing and shipping, which directly cuts down on the fossil fuels being burned. Simple as that.
And we can take it even further. Little choices, like carpooling or just remembering to switch off a light. They all conserve energy. And then there are the bigger shifts. like supporting clean energy, like solar and wind, or choosing appliances that are energy efficient. Every single step, no matter how small or large, adds up to a huge collective solution.
Wow. This quote really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? A mirror of man's follies. It's saying that air pollution isn't just some accident, but a direct reflection of the choices we've made as a society. That kind of reframes the whole thing, making it a moral challenge, an existential one, something we simply have to overcome. So, we've looked at the problem, the causes, the really devastating effects, and the path forward. The science is totally clear. The solutions are there. The only piece of the puzzle that's left is us. So the question really isn't just what can be done, but what will you do? How will you help clear the air we all have to share?